When I turned 40 this year, I got this tattoo. It's the title of a poem, You Get Proud by Practising. And it's a poem by disability advocate who's now passed away, Laura Hershey. And it was a poem that, when I heard it, really resonated with me. I was like, that's exactly how I feel about probably me as an individual, including my hand imprints. I have a hobby making terrariums. I don't know quite how it came about, but I have lots of them. I like giving them as presents and collecting all the little animals that go in there as well. So I've always enjoyed gardening, and it's just kind of nice having things like the plants inside. For me, doing art stuff, but also doing gardening are the ways that I can sort of tune out. So for me, the most difficult thing about growing up with a hand imprints, I think, was learning to be resilient, to be honest. Because you do get people looking at you, you do get comments as kids will say stuff. When you're in a circle at school and you hold hands and they hold it like it's some toxic object. And that did hurt. So I think I wasn't always good at letting that roll off me. When I went to school, there were kids that would be, say nasty things, either to my face or behind my back. Socially, when I started going out and going clubbing and going out with friends when I got older, I was extremely self-conscious of having a hand imprint. Would cover up my hand as much as possible, so would pick long sleeve things. But I think in order to feel like okay about myself at that period of time, that's how I did it. But I think as time has gone on, it just got too tiring to hide, and I'm like, really, it just takes too much time. What am I doing that for? Getting perspective around that and saying, well, people are curious, that's okay, I'm okay. But now it doesn't worry me anymore. I actually didn't know what the name was probably until I started working at Aussie Hands, I've got to say, and only learnt to say it more recently, but it's brachydactyly is my hand condition. For me, Aussie Hands is a place for people to belong and a place where they don't feel alone. I think growing up with a hand imprint, for me, there was no Aussie Hands, so it was pretty rare to meet anyone that was like me. So you feel like the only person in the world that is like you. So it's pretty lonely, and for parents, they feel like that too. It's really important and great if adults with hand imprints get involved with Aussie Hands. I think often, and I've probably felt like that, where you kind of go, what have I got to offer? But I think even just being at events or being part of a mentoring program, just meeting the kids, meeting the adults, it's often, you don't have to have all the answers, but I think just being around is really important for the community. I think in terms of everyday tasks, you don't know anything different. I think being born with a hand imprint, you just adapt. I can't think of many things that I'm not able to do, so you might do it a bit differently, but you kind of do the same stuff everyone else does. I have come a long way, and how I feel about myself and having a hand imprint, but at the same time, I think it just represents the journey I've been on, and it makes me happy.